Today I'm going to be reviewing a budget on-camera microphone by Comica called the Comica CVM-V30 Pro. I've got it right here. I just can't get over the size of this wind muff. Along the way I'm going to be comparing it to a slightly more expensive mic, but one that comes highly recommended by YouTubers and videographers alike, and that is the Deity V-Mic D3 Pro. This is a microphone I've been using for about a year now, and I got it for about 300 quid with the shock mount, whereas the Comica microphone actually comes in at £60. So let's see if the price difference is actually worth it. So this is the V30 Pro microphone without the wind muff on it, and at first glance it's pretty well designed. You've got the little red shock mount here, you've got the cold shoe adapter, and it also has a tripod thread on the bottom in case you wanted to attach the microphone to a tripod. The one thing about this microphone is it does run on two AAA batteries. It's 2020 and I'd expect microphones now to be running on rechargeable batteries, perhaps with a USB-C charger. But again, this is £60 and you've got to consider what you actually get for that kind of money. On the back of the microphone you do have the off and on switch, and this also acts as a plus 10 dB option there if you need it to sort of raise the volume a little bit. There is no minus 20 dB option at all. That would be very nice because I know the preamps on some cameras are quite hot. Sometimes it is nice to have that minus 20 dB option, but again, for the price, it's kind of like, what do you expect? But the next model would be great to have an option where you could lower it, or even just a backup track would be nice too. And if we compare this to a more high-end microphone like the Deity V-Mic D3 Pro, it has a sort of stepless gain knob on the back so that you can adjust the volume in really small increments rather than just sort of plus 10 or minus 20 or minus 10, which is a really nice feature to have. It sort of allows you to dial in that control exactly how you want it. Also with the Deity microphone and the new Rode Video Mic NTG, you can actually take them out of the shock mount and put them onto a boom mic, which is really good. Due to the shape of this thing and the fact that the wire is actually fully attached to the microphone, you can't actually pull it out. You're going to struggle to get the shock mounts onto the Comica microphone. But if you're looking for just an on-camera microphone, that won't be a problem for you. A couple more things to note with the Comica microphone: you can't set it to turn on when the camera turns on and turn off when the camera turns off. In some of the new high-end microphones, they do have this setting, and it's useful, for example, if you're in a high pressure environment, you go to record something, and we've all done it, you forget to turn your microphone on, and you get zero sound whatsoever. But now some of the microphones that are coming out into the market, they automatically turn on when your camera turns on, and automatically turn off when your camera turns off. So that's basically it with the design of the microphone. It's pretty simple, it's designed for beginners, it's got a beginner price tag, and so it's great they've kept it simple. It is missing a few features some of the high-end microphones have, so if you need some of them, then you're going to need to spend a bit more money. But overall, it's pretty simplistic design. So let's get into some sound tests and maybe some comparisons with the Deity microphone. So what you're hearing now is audio straight from the V30 Pro microphone. We're in a small room, it's not sound treated at all. The microphone is attached to the Sony a7 III, and I've tried to dial in the levels as best I possibly can, so let me know what you think of the audio. And now what you're hearing is audio straight from the Deity V-Mic D3 Pro. You've got to remember that this microphone is about 4 or 5 times as expensive as the Comica microphone. So what we're looking at here is, does it hold up? Does the Comica microphone hold up against the more expensive competition? So let me know how you think it sounds in comparison to the Deity mic. And now we're back on the V30 Pro, however this time the microphone is a little bit closer to my mouth. I've now got it connected to my Tascam DR10L external recorder, and this is kind of a more typical distance between the microphone and the person if you're doing an interview or talking head. It's not always best to put the microphone on top of the camera, but as that is what it's for, that's why I did the test originally. However, if you're doing an interview, I highly recommend putting the microphone either on top or below the person, a little bit closer to their mouth, so you're not picking up as much external sort of sounds around you. So this again is a test of the Comica microphone. Let me know what you think of the audio on this. Let's switch back to the Deity. And now we're back on the Deity V-Mic D3 Pro, and again this is just to compare the sound quality between the two different microphones. There's a huge price difference, but we just want to see if the Comica holds its own against a much more expensive microphone. So yeah, this is the Deity V-Mic D3 Pro. It's sat again right in front of me, the same distance as the Comica microphone was. So what do you think? Do you think it sounds much different? And what microphone do you prefer? Just let me know in the comments down below. Now, the audio you're hearing now is through the Comica V30 Pro microphone. We're outdoors, it's slightly breezy, and the aim of this is just to see what the quality of the audio is like outdoors in a sort of vlogging environment. I've got it connected to my Sony a7 III, it's slightly breezy, and I've not got the wind muff on, because let's be honest, that wind muff is massive, and if you're vlogging with that, you're definitely going to draw attention to yourself. So yeah, this is just a sound quality test. Let me know what you think. Does it isolate the wind well enough? And we're going to go over to the Deity V-Mic D3 Pro to compare the sound quality to that. And now we're back on the slightly more expensive Deity microphone, just to test how the Comica microphone holds up against a more expensive microphone in an outdoor environment. Again, it is slightly breezy, so we'll see how well each microphone isolates that wind noise without a wind muff on it. So let me know what you think sounds better outside, the Deity microphone or the Comica microphone. And does the Comica microphone hold up considering its £60 price tag in comparison to the Deity's like £200 to £300 price tag? Okay, so that was a nice little sound test and comparison between the Comica V30 and the more expensive Deity V-Mic D3 Pro. What did you think? Did you think the Comica held up to the Deity? Do you think it's a nice little budget microphone? Or do you think that the Deity definitely had better sound quality and was worth the extra money? Personally, I think that the Comica held up very, very well in comparison to the Deity microphone. The Deity was slightly clearer, had a bit more clarity, but the Comica definitely did have very, very good sound quality. It's a little bit bassier and a little bit more muffled, I would say. But for the price, I would say it definitely holds its own. Outdoors, it kind of felt like a bit more of a difference between the two, although I did notice the Deity microphone didn't isolate wind noise as well as the Comica microphone did. That's quite an interesting thing to note, but again, you can put wind muffs on these, and you probably should put wind muffs on these if you're doing sort of professional interviews outside, but I was testing it without the wind muffs just to give you an idea of what it's like to use them without. So with all that said, do I think the Comica is worth it? Well, this thing is 60 quid on Amazon, which is an absolute steal for an on-camera microphone as it is. I've got to admit, I didn't have high expectations for this microphone, but when I started off videography, if I could have had a microphone like this for the price that this is, it would have been absolutely amazing. It is very, very good for the price. The sound quality is great. It's got all the features that a beginner videographer needs, or maybe even all the features that a vlogger needs as well. Yes, it misses some of the advanced features that the Deity or the Rode VideoMic NTG might have, but you really can't expect to get all of those features at this price point. And again, I think this is really targeted at people who are beginners and coming into the video industry and don't want to necessarily invest £200 to £300 in a microphone straight away. I really think that Comica have done a great job with this microphone, and I highly recommend it to anyone who's looking for a budget on-camera microphone, or someone who's just starting videography and doesn't want to invest in an expensive microphone straight away. It is honestly a great option for the price. It is amazing. My name's been Chris Spice, thank you for watching the whole video. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe down below to get more videos like this on tech, on cameras, on microphones. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down twice. And let me know what you think in the comments about the microphone, about the comparison, and any questions you've got, I'll be sure to answer them too. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.